Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's topic, which is all about overcoming obstacles and opening up to opportunities. I am Shalini Joshi Amdagni, and I'm an international physical and emotional pain relief expert. So what I do is I help people who are feeling stuck in pain, physical pain, emotional pain, and they are trying different things and they are, they're not getting the results that they want. I help them overcome their pain so they can, move forward feeling peace and clarity and creating the life that they want. So welcome, and our topic today, as I said, is overcoming obstacles and opening up to opportunities. And if you are joining me live, welcome. If you are here watching the replay, welcome. Today is all about overcoming obstacles and opening up to opportunities. And I will be sharing with you a few different things. So let me just tell you what's coming up. So we're looking at a personal story that I will be sharing with you. It's called Out of the Blue Story. And we'll be looking at how we can understand challenges and obstacles instead of fearing them, okay? And at the end, I'm sharing with you 5 tips to help you overcome the obstacle and open up to opportunities. So let's begin the first topic, which is out of the blue. So this is a personal experience, and this happened a year ago, April 2017. So, giving you a little bit of a background, I'm based in Bangkok, Thailand, as I told you, and April is the hottest month of the whole entire year. It's hot, it's humid, and it's really uncomfortable. So this is the month of April, and it's a year ago. And I have a morning routine where I wake up in the morning, I cook breakfast for my kids, we do the tapping, right? And we set up for the day, and they head to school. My husband goes to office, and then I sit in the balcony and do my meditation before getting on with the chores of the day, the house cleaning, the tidying up, and so on and so forth. But this day, I forget the exact day what it was, but I finished doing everything, and then I came to the balcony by myself. Everybody was off to their destinations, and I'm sitting in the balcony, and it was a most amazing, beautiful day because it was cloudy, it was windy, it was cool, it was refreshing, and so I sat there in a very happy, grateful attitude because it was such a beautiful change to the other days. And I finished my meditation, and I said, you know what? I'm not getting on with my house chores yet. I'm not going to just get on and start, doing the cleaning and the tidying up. I'm going to enjoy this weather. So instead of, getting on with my house chores, I went to the kitchen, made myself a hot cup of Indian tea, came out, bought a biscuit, and sat back on the chair and just decided to, enjoy the weather. And I also bought with me my Bose, speaker system, and put on some inspiring talk on YouTube. And I was listening to it, sipping my tea, and having my biscuit, and just relishing and savoring this beautiful, beautiful weather. And I was feeling so much gratitude and so much joy, and that feeling of being blessed, and all the happy, wonderful feelings, right? And after a while, I stepped out of my swinging chair, which I have in my balcony, and I walked to the edge of the balcony where I could see the greenery below. I have a wonderful green patch right, in my view, right at the edge of my balcony, and I was looking at the trees, and I could see these squirrels running up and down. They were giving each other a chase, which was adding to the fun and thrilling experience that I was having. And as I sipped my tea, just standing there and gazing into the green, out of the blue, from a tree that is really clearly visible from my balcony, a tree that I often look at. Out of the blue, there was this burst of yellow birds. I think there were 4 to 5 yellow birds that just burst from a branch and flew off into another tree across, and then fluttered and just sat there for a bit before they flew off onto another tree. And if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see a few pictures of my balcony and this green patch. I have so many videos over there because I love gazing into nature, and I've taken a lot of videos. But they did this jumping from tree to tree, and they kind of circled the whole area, and I stood there in awe because this went on for a good 7 to 10 minutes, and I was struck by the bright yellow colors of these birds, and also in amazement that I have lived in this apartment for 10 years. We own this condo, and it's been 10 years in this place, and I have never seen this flock of yellow birds, but they have always been there. It's just I have been unaware that they even exist, because it was really shocking for me, because I spent a lot of time in my balcony. And so it was such a delightful experience. It was such an amazing experience. I even recorded it on my voice memos, with my phone, because I didn't want to forget it. I didn't want to forget this experience. And it was a reminder of how sometimes when we get caught up with the struggles that we're going through and the obstacles that show up in our lives, and maybe we are looking for solutions, maybe we are looking for breakthroughs in our relationship, or we are looking for the new clients to come in, or we are waiting for the new job opportunity that we know is lined up, but it's not showing up. And what I want to say is that I believe truly that opportunities are always there. They are always there, and it is just that they are sometimes hidden, or they're not showing up right away. And just because they're not there in front of you right now as you want it, it doesn't mean that it's not there. It doesn't mean that it's you are lost and you have to give up on that dream, whatever it is, whether it's a relationship thing, whether it's a career thing, whether it's something about yourself, whether it's maybe you're waiting for a project, maybe you're waiting for an offer of some sort. Whatever it is, you don't have to give up. And this was a wonderful reminder. And so I want to share with you about getting into this number 2 point, which is instead of looking at our challenges from fear and worry and resentful, maybe jealous, looking at others, we feel like they have the opportunity, we don't. If we can try to understand the challenge that we're going through, and what if the challenge is really trying to tell us something, and maybe we can learn something from this. So maybe we can benefit from this challenge, and maybe something even better is going to show up for us. 11 years ago, I was diagnosed with a disease because of which I had chronic pain, and for months and months and months and months and months, I tried physiotherapy, ultrasound therapy. If you've been following me, you know the story. I was on bed rest because the doctors couldn't figure out what to do with me, and they said surgery. But even that, they weren't like 100% like anything would change. And so I was in a very, discouraged, demotivated, kind of place. And I happened to attend a seminar in which I discovered EFT. But it wasn't that, EFT wasn't there. It was that it was always there. The solution was always there. It's just I had to do something different and try something different before I could access this opportunity, heal myself, and now I'm a pain relief expert, right? So the first thing, I said I'm going to be sharing with you 5 tips. So number 1 tip is do something different. Do something different. Insanity is, doing the same things over and over and over and expecting a different result. Albert Einstein said that, that, right? And so what if you did something different? Like, in my everyday, I have this way of, I move around, I do the thing, I do send off my kids, cook the breakfast, sit outside, do my meditation, go to the thing. And it's like when you do the same thing over and over again, your neurons, right, your nervous system is conditioned to operate in a certain way, and you have the same experiences. But that one day, out of the blue story, going back to that, I was able to, step out of my routine, do something different, laze around a little bit more, and enjoy my cup of tea. And if I hadn't done something different, I wouldn't have been a witness to this amazing experience that I will remember for life. And it gave me so many insights, and it was so uplifting. So do something different. I don't know what that different means for you. Maybe, take a different route to office. Change your clothes, like try something different. Go to a different restaurant. Go to a different coffee shop where you work, right? If you work in the same coffee shop, try a different one. Who knows who you're going to bump into, who's going to show up, and how that creates a ripple effect, right? So it's really important to do something different, because if you're doing the same thing again and again, you'll keep getting the same results. And we want different results. We want to open ourselves to new experiences, new opportunities. Number 2 is change hats. What do I mean? We always talk about these thinking hats, like put on your thinking hat. And if you've been thinking negative, and you've been thinking stuck, and if you've been thinking problem, and if you've been focused on all the pain in your life and all the things that are not working, you need to take off that hat and take a new hat, right? And change perspective. Have a different perspective. Like, what if there's a hidden opportunity in this? What if I could just do what I can right now? What if, as I go with the flow, things start to change? So you have to, take off that hat, because that thinking hat isn't helping. It's not leading you to a solution. It's keeping you stuck. So you need to change hats and change your perspective and change your mental attitude towards, whatever it is that you are wanting to achieve, right? So change your hats, change your perspective. And number 3 is raise your expectations. Raise your expectations. Many times when we are desiring something and when we are experiencing problems, we think, oh, this is never going to happen. This dream, I have to give up on this, or this is not going to work, or I'm not worthy, or I don't think I can achieve this. And so it's kind of like you want to change the hats, definitely, but you want to also raise your expectation of what's possible in your life. Maybe it's something new that you're reaching out for. Maybe you've never had that level of success or experience, or that new stage that you are trying to reach for. Maybe you are up leveling and you want to move to the next level, right? So you want to raise your expectations so that you are able to believe that it's possible, so that you're able to see yourself achieving it. So you need to raise your expectations, because I think Wayne Dyer said it. If you believe it will work, you'll be looking towards the opportunities. And if you believe it will not work, you're going to focus on the obstacles. So believe and raise your expectations. And the number 4 point is raise your vibe. Raise your vibe. What do I mean by that? On a scale of 0 to 10, as you're moving forward day to day, what's your vibe? What's your vibe on a general basis? 10 is, I wake up, I feel amazing, things are working out, I love where I am, I love where I'm going, I'm happy where I am, I'm excited about life. Is that where you're at? That's a level 10. and 0 is the complete opposite end. So where is your vibe generally? Generally, of course, we have, we go through the dips and the ups and the highs and the lows, but generally, where is your vibe? Is it a 6? Is it a 7? Is it a 5? Right? Because whatever your vibe is, whatever you're feeling emotionally, whatever your internal mood is on a day-to-day basis, that's your vibe. And whatever you vibe, you attract into your life. So if your vibe is a 5, and you're reaching for things that you never reached for before, you want to up level, then you got to move that vibe up to a different level. And how do you do that, right? So are you feeling resentful? Are you feeling jealous? Are you feeling angry, guilty, sad, upset, disheartened, discouraged, angry, fearful? Those emotions bring your vibe down. Okay, so you want to let go of those heavy feelings so that you can shift it, right? Maybe you can't jump from fear to feeling super excited, but definitely you can move from fear to feeling hopeful, because that's a step up, right? And that's how you can move your vibe up the scale, and slowly and gradually, as you continue to shift that energy, right? The more you declutter those feelings, you can raise your vibe. And another way to raise your vibe is, of course, doing things you love. Absolutely. So for me, it's dance. For me, it's music. For me, it's nature, sitting out, gazing in the sky, going for nature walks. That's what works for me to raise my vibe. And what is it for you? Do those things. Include those kind of activities daily at some point. Maybe if not daily, then 3 times a week or whatever. You really want to do that because your vibe attracts what comes to you in your life. So you want to raise your vibe, definitely. And the other thing is reflect and refuel. And by this I mean, if you are experiencing some kind of an obstacle right now, we all know this is not the first obstacle you face. We've all lived decades by now, right? I'm assuming you're at least 20. So you've lived 2 decades, right? Or you are like me, 40 plus. So I've lived 4 decades. And it's not the first time that you're solving a problem or you're facing an obstacle. So what is the obstacle that you faced in the past? How did that work? How did that work out for you? How did you overcome that obstacle? And usually what I hear from people is that, I was just doing blah, 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 and suddenly this person showed up, this seminar showed up, this workshop showed up, this email, something happened, and then they took action, and then the solution, the solutions came, the situation got resolved. And so when you take time back to reflect on how you were able to solve the other situations in your life, the other obstacles in your life, and you did overcome them, right? So when you reflect and think about this situation that you are in right now, what if you can ask yourself, what if the solution is there? And what if I can focus more on what the opportunities that are hidden out there for me, and what if I can just do whatever I can right now and start moving towards that? Because I know I have overcome all of that in the past, and things did work out for me, right? Sometimes, often actually in my case, and I know a lot of other people, things worked out way better than we expected it, right? So don't get so stuck in this current obstacle. It's just one bump along the life's long journey. And so just reflect and remind yourself that this is not, I've overcome so many other things, and I know that it's just a phase, and I will be able to overcome this, and start kind of focusing towards where you want to go instead of just worrying about this current situation and obsessing about this current situation. So over-analyzing the current situation, right? And that way you will feel a lot more refueled with this optimistic, positive energy, which will create the momentum for you to move forward. And as you move forward, everything that we want is in that forward movement, right? The river's flowing downstream. You don't want to flow upstream. There's nothing out there. You want to go downstream to where the answers and the solutions are. And when you reflect and you feel refueled, that momentum will guide you towards those hidden opportunities, and they'll show up, and you'll be amazed and surprised and delighted. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope this made sense. Let me just go over, the solutions that I was talking about. Do something different. Don't keep doing the same stuff that you've been doing. Change hats. Think, okay, I'm done with this style of thinking. Let me put on another cap, and maybe it's a neutral cap. Maybe it's a positive thinking cap, right? You can be creative and play around, and raise your expectations. Expect things to work out for you. Believe in yourself, right? And raise your vibe. Clear out what's not working. Clear out those heavy feelings, and allow yourself to gain gain a better positive point of view, and raise your vibe so that you start attracting all the things that you do want. And do take time to reflect so that you can refuel and get that momentum going again. So thank you so much for joining me right now, and I would love to know what resonated with you, what you took from this sharing, and I will see you again in another video. Thank you for joining, and bye for now. Bye, guys.